Liberty Bell was roaring packed when I pushed my way inside with tall cowpokes and gambling men and drifters on the tide. Upon the stage, the dancing girls were doing the French can-can with petticoats above their knees and fancy spangled fans. And down in front of the music pit, the band was sawing away, but you couldn't hear a single toot above the din and fray. And it looked a lot as some preachers say, like a scene from down in hell, but payday night's no church bazaar, not the Liberty Bell. So I squeezed my way up to the bar and hollered for a beer, and I'd scarcely laid my money down when, so soft and clear, I heard a woman singing low, and she seemed to weave a spell. I swear to God an angel come to sing of the Liberty Bell. And the place grew quiet as a lonesome grave, and you couldn't hear a sound but the soft, sweet voice singing a song that twisted your soul around. A voice that promised everything to a lean and lonely man, heaven and earth and the stars above, down by the Rio Grande. And when she stopped, there wasn't a sound except my pounding heart, and the boys began to stomp and whistle and tear the place apart. Then Lily came out and sang some more, something light and gay, and the boys whooped and hollered it up, while I figured to make my play. So I waited until she stepped from the stage, then took a gambling chance, and I said to her, "Miss Lily, ma'am, would you do me the honor to dance?" She looked at me like a startled fawn, and her eyes were big and gray. Then she looked again and smiled and said, "Cowboy, lead the way." So I led her out onto the floor and waited for the beat, then put my arms around her waist and commenced with flying feet. Light and swift we swung around, and I held her close and tight, while her face grew flushed and rosy red, and her eyes were sparkling bright. I know right then as I held her close that things were going right, and I said to myself as we danced along, "Cowboy, tonight's your night." When all of a sudden, cold and hard, I heard a voice say, "Cowboy," it said, "if I were you, I'd be moving on my way." Well, I let Lil go and turned right slow, as calm as I can be, and there by the band, with glass in hand, stood Mr. Cyril Atlee. All dressed up nice and cool as ice, a real fancy Dan. And "Mister," I said, "if you want to be dead, you found yourself the man." As quick as a whip I went for my hip, and people hit the floor, when from out of his vest up close to his chest came Atlee's answering roar. And down I went, all tired and spent, and my blood was soaking red, and it was tough to know in a minute or so I'd be among the dead. Slowly I raised my head from the floor and focused on Cyril Atlee. "Get rid of that bum," he smiled and said, and jerked his thumb at me. "Bum," said I, with my last cry, squeezed my 44, and smiling Cyril, a hole in his head, joined me on the floor. Lily screamed with a piercing shrill, D above high C, and I wondered if that awful cry was meant for him or me. With glazing eye, I looked at Lil, and her face was in a frown. "Oh, damn them both," I heard her say. "They've bloodied up my gown." And now I'm being carried out into the cool night air, and thunder's fading away in the range, and the stars are sparkling fair. And pretty soon the boys will come and shed a tear or two, for a pal who tried to swallow more than he could rightly chew. And if I could talk, I'd say to them, "Now boys, you listen here, don't fool around with another man's woman, and the reason's plainly clear. For though you're quick upon the draw, someday you'll meet your man, and then you'll come and join me down by the Rio Grande."
Yeah.
That's
Great.